Good evening, everybody. We're back again for our AEW Dynamite review. This is from the 9th of March. I'm joined again, obviously, I'm Jason. I'm joined again by Russell.
Hey.
So we're going to give you our thoughts on the Dynamite. Any sort of thoughts, really, any ideas that we've got, anything, suggestions that we could give, or anything really. So we'll go from there then. So the first part of the show was Chris Jericho sort of in-ring interview. This was interesting because on the last show, I predicted that Jericho would have a heel turn. So this was like, wow, nailed that one. So that was good. I liked how they did it. I kind of, in the back of my mind, I was always thinking he's going to turn heel here. But I liked how they did it. And I think we talked about it last time as well, that I think we both like Jericho better as a heel as well. So I think this is a win-win for everyone, really. I think Santana and Ortiz get to go on their own. Jericho gets to still be with a stable because I think he needs a stable because I think, with his age and stuff, I think it's good that. But I also think it's good that he's a heel as well. So I think that was very good. I liked it really. Overall, it was a nasty power bomb by Hager.
Yeah,
I thought that was a nasty move. Looked really dangerous. So I don't know if that was the intention, but yeah, it looked really, really dangerous. So maybe that might lead on to something. Maybe Hager might, he doesn't seem to wrestle that much, so maybe that might be something that we have to come. But no, I liked it really. And as I say, it was nice to see that my prediction came true really, really quickly. So that's my thoughts, Russell.
Yeah. I put Kingston questions Jericho's integrity. And then we get Jericho turning on Santana and Ortiz and siding with 2.0. I think it's a good move. It makes 2.0 and Daniel Garcia more relevant. Definitely. As you just touched on, as we've spoken about in the past, Jericho is much better as a heel. And we get Hager siding with Jericho as well, and the formation of the Jericho Appreciation Society, all of which lends itself to some pretty interesting multi-man matches. I'm with you. I like the way they did it. The powerbomb did look brutal. Yeah. Nice little opening to the show.
Yeah, good. I think it's like I say, good way to start really. And as I say, like you say, it leads. There's a lot of things that can come out of this as well. Like you say, we've got obviously this a new stable now, so it makes sense as well that it's kind of teaming with 2.0 because 2.0 a Canadian as well. That kind of makes sense that he would kind of mentor them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Garcia will stay though. I feel like he might go to the Brian Danielson's team really, but we'll have to wait and see for that. But that's what I'm kind of thinking. So after that, we had a match, a world title match, which this felt a bit spooky to me really, that we had a world title match that hadn't had any build. And it was second on the card, but I've not got a problem with that particularly, but I just thought it was a bit spooky that it just kind of like happened really. Although maybe it was publicized on another show, but I don't remember seeing it. So, but what I was thinking about this was just felt a bit like Battle of the Social Justice Warriors, this one, where they both kind of like seem to be that kind of person. So it was a good match. I mean, Dante Martin is probably one of the best high flyers, probably anywhere really, I think, and his agility is amazing. I'm not keen on the character, if I'm honest, because I don't like the social justice thing, really. It's not my thing. But from a talent point of view, I think he's got a lot of talent. So, and I don't think he's got a really. I don't think he looks like a wrestler either. I mean, he could, it sounds a bit strange, but he's the kind of guy that looks like he always looks like he's going to burst into tears. So I'd kind of give him a bit of a mask, maybe, or some kind of gimmick. I think, because I think the talent's there. I just don't think. I think he could do with a little bit of an overhaul in that respect. But I suppose he is young. So, but the only thing I could take from this, I thought it was a very good match, good TV match. Both of these guys, can go and stuff. I don't really think that Paige is, like I said before, Paige isn't really doing it for me as a champion, really. I think he's all right, maybe as a transitional champion, but I don't think for the moment he's really doing it. And all these political statements that he's making aren't really making him into a major bad guy either, really, or a guy who's got a little bit of I don't know what the word I'm looking for. It's got a bit of not aggression, but a bit of something about him. He doesn't look like a real tough guy, tough man. Really, that's what I'm trying to say, I suppose. So it's all right, but I think they are giving Dante Martin a very big push. I think that's a bit early for me. I think he's got a good talent, but I think he's a way off main events, really. But it was a good match, really. I've not got any problems with that. I'm not really into both these guys' gimmicks, really. I suppose that's my criticism.
Yeah, the second that the match was announced, and they said the following contest is for the world title, I was like, what? And then when it was revealed as to what the match was actually going to be, I was like, okay, what's Dante done to deserve that? But then they went on to explain that he was made it to the number 2 spot in the rankings. So fair enough. Yeah, he's improved considerably and deserved a shot. It was a decent little match. Paige unsurprisingly retains. I don't think there was much danger of Dante going over in this one. So yeah, not much else to say really. I mean, Adam Cole came out after the match and basically indicated that he still has designs on the big belt and that he's not going anywhere. So Adam Page, you better watch out. Maybe the fans would be more interested if Adam Cole hit the gym occasionally, but we've been there before. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. We obviously agree on that, but so yeah, that I think that was okay. So then after that, we moved on to Danielson Moxley with Steven Regal, manager, against they actually build these guys as the work horsemen, which I thought was interesting. Apparently, this is something that they've done in a I think it might be Ring of Honor, not sure. So I thought that was all right, but I don't like these things when they're sprung on you. I wouldn't have minded like a little bit of an interview saying this is who we are. We've wrestled in Ring of Honor before or whatever, and that kind of rather than just thinking, oh yeah, that name's interesting. So this is a thing that this is obviously AEW do this a lot, and this is obviously what they're going to continue to do. But I think it could have done with a little interview beforehand, just to say, look, this is who we are. This is why we do wrestling Ring of Honor, because this one of the guys, the big guy, he's in that other stable in AEW. Well, the
Wingmen.
The one with I can't even remember what they're called now. Not a very important stable, obviously. But the Wingmen, that's it. He's in the Wingmen. So that just seemed a bit weird that they kind of announced them with a different name. So that's not my only thing about this, is just when you're going to do something like that, and I think a lot of people have said the same criticism as well, that not everybody can watch everything. I mean, even if you do like everything, you just don't have time in your life to watch everything anyway. So I would have just done that, really introduced them. So the match was pretty good, actually. This other team, obviously if they've teamed up before, they look okay. A little bit better than the wingmen actually, so that's good. Moxley missed a tope, I think though, and that was a really bad miss. I mean, he just literally kind of completely missed the guy on the outside, and that didn't look very good. So obviously these things happen, but if that happens, I'd want to build that into the match, and use that kind of, he's missed his move, and rather than just pretend it didn't happen. That's what I think when you do stuff like that. I'd kind of build it into the match, make it into sort of, give the other guy a bit of a leg up or whatever. So the only other thing I thought about this was, and I don't think that Moxley and Danielson need a manager. I don't think really the team, they need a manager. I like Regal, but I don't think they need a manager. So that to me, I don't see the point of it. Although, as I say, I do like Regal, and I really like the interview that Regal did after. I thought that was really good, really gritty, really real. So I really like him, but I just don't think this is the best place to put him. I would have potentially put Regal with someone younger, or we could really mentor better. These guys are main events already, so that's the same criticism I said last time. I don't think this manager, but it's a good group. So that's my thought really, Russell.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, what with it being effectively a glorified squash match, there was no question as to who was going to get the win. Mox and Danielson were going to get the win. Yeah, I agree that they should have introduced the other team. I mean, avid fans of AEW would have heard of JD Drake if they've watched Dark Elevation. But other than that, the team were virtually unknown. So it was interesting booking from that perspective. So yeah, they get their first win as a team. Regal approves and explains his relationship with them. But thinking about it, I agree that they don't necessarily need a manager. Then again, what else can they do with Regal other than what you just suggested, which is put him with somebody younger who maybe needs the rub a bit more? I don't know. But no, interesting to see where this team goes moving forward. They definitely had good chemistry. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah. I just think that, like you said, they don't need the manager. It could be better used with a younger. There's so many teams in AEW. He could take up on a younger team, or bring in someone new even. And I think that would have much more weight. I just think it's a bit like overkill, really, having him with both because these are two main event guys. I mean, former world champion and potential next world champion. I don't think they need it, but that was what I thought. So after that, we had the Adam Page interview, which only small little thing, this one, but I thought this was interesting because he's kind of distanced himself from Dark Order. And this is, again, I mentioned this last time as well. This is a suggestion that he needs to move away from these because they're kind of mid-card. So, maybe Tony Khan's listening to this, or whether other people are saying the same things, but that's really good because that's kind of what I was thinking. So, it's whether it's just, by chance, whatever, but I think they're going in the right direction because I don't think Adam Page is getting over, really, if I'm honest, but I don't think it's helping being with mid-card guys. So maybe moving him away and putting him with someone who's a bit more credible, a bit more of a, nearer the top of the card is probably a good thing. But I'm getting to the stage now with Adam Page where I don't really think it's going to get better, really. I think this is who he is. I don't think he's really got this fire. I don't think he's a real tough guy that you're going to be afraid of. I don't think he's a world champion that you're going to look in awe of. I don't think he's that guy. I think he's proved what he believes in, what he thinks, and really. And so I think it's time to move on as soon as you get a good credible person stepping up, I think. But so it's a good thing that he's moving away from the Dark Order, but I don't really think this can be salvaged now. The Adam Page thing. That's what I think.
Refresh my memory. Is this the start of the build up towards the 6-man tag that they booked?
That's right. Yeah, because he was. They were asking him to get 2 partners for the 3-man tag.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dark Order expected to be a part of that, and he kind of said, "No, I've got other people in mind" or something. So that was good. As I say, that was what I sort of suggested to happen anyway. I think they'll struggle though to kind of make this guy seem a credible champion, really. But you never know. It's a challenge, I suppose.
Didn't Adam Page say that he was going with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, or did I miss that?
I think that's kind of what he was. I think that's kind of what he was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. It's definitely a smart move to have him move away from the Dark Order. I think his relationship with them does him no favors and kind of makes him lack a bit of credibility, both as a champion and as an in-ring talent as a whole, effectively. Do you think it's time they put the belt on somebody else, or?
I would if obviously, I'd even be tempted to do it on TV, because I don't think really this guy's going anywhere. I don't see him. He's good. He's pretty good in the ring. I just don't think he has sometimes it's this X factor. I don't think he's got the X factor as a champion. He might have it in a few years. I don't think he's got it now. I don't think he looks. When you think of when you sort of think about the big characters and big names, he doesn't spring to mind. You think in AEW as well. You think of people. I think of people like Danielson, MJ, even Jericho actually, or Omega obviously. People even like Miro, even Lance Archer. To be honest, I don't have Adam Page in that conversation at all. To me, he's just a bit of a mid-card guy. I think him and Adam Cole are the same person. I think not world championship material, but credible challenges. But it might. He's young, so we'll give him a chance. But he doesn't have that aura. Whereas, for example, if you think about other people, like for example Miro, as a champion, he would be all credible from day one. He looks like a champion. He looks like he could hold the title. Whereas Adam Page, he just doesn't have that fire really. He just seems like, he's just, and that maybe that was part of the storyline originally, but that was probably a bit of a mistake, I think, making him out as a pathetic type character. But I think that's who he is as a guy. I actually think that is genuinely the kind of guy he is. So that to me means, mid-card for me. So that's what I'm saying. So
I don't really have any more thoughts on that. Let's move on.
Okay, so after that we have a match: Wheeler Yuta versus Pac. So this was, I think, we've obviously we've just come out of a pay-per-view, so we kind of now starting to build new people up for runs and things, which is kind of what you'd expect, really. I'm a massive fan of Pac. This is another guy, I think, who this is a very credible guy. Even world title. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but very, very credible. I think this could be I wouldn't be opposed to giving Pac the world title at some stage. Certainly the TNT title as well.
Yeah.
To me, he is, in my opinion, the most complete wrestler probably in AEW. With the fact of the fact that his wrestling style, the fact that he's his intensity, You can it can do the high flying stuff as well. He's got it. He's got everything. He's got he's got the gimmick. He's got the attitude. To me, he's the complete package. Really, I think so. Package. I think it worked. I think it's good. So the only problem, I suppose, and it's not really a problem for Pac, is they don't really have that many titles. If they had a cruiserweight or a lightweight title, then he would be like, to me, he'd be like the number one guy, really. But even so, I'd say put Pac against Adam Page, for me, much more credible as a champion. Even though he's not flamboyant, but to me there's a difference there. When you look at Adam Page and you look at Pac, it's a completely different ball game, I think. So like, it was a nice TV match. Pac looked amazing, but he always does. He's one of these guys I've never really seen a bad match out of Pac. And the match he had with Omega in the early days was probably one of the best matches ever in AEW, in my opinion. So the other thing I thought on this one, just on Wheeler Yuta, and I don't have that much to say about Wheeler Yuta because I don't feel like he's anything special. I feel like he's just literally solely a mid-card guy, and I don't feel like he will be anything more unless he gets some kind of different gimmick or some kind of personality there. But I think Wheeler Yuta, he really sells very well. He's great at selling. So, if you want to get someone over, this guy is a really good guy to do that. And he might be something in the future, but this is a guy where, he's steady in the ring. He's pretty good. He doesn't offer anything amazing, but he sells really well. And that gets people over. So he's got he's got something going for him, I think. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree regarding the selling aspect that you just mentioned. Having said that, this for me felt like nothing but filler. They even announced it as a standby match because the world title match didn't go the full 60 minutes. And I was left thinking, well, way to kind of downgrade the participants in the match before it even starts, kind of thing. So I didn't think much of this match. And it pains me to say that because I'm with you on Pac. I think he's a hell of a talent. I just don't think they use him correctly. Just my opinion. So yeah, and unsurprisingly, Pac convincingly gets the win, as it should be against a guy like Wheeler Yuta, who, as you say, sells very well, but that's it. What else can he do? Where does he fit into AEW as a whole? That's what I'm wondering. So yeah, it felt like filler to me. Yeah, nothing more on that.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying on that. Yeah, I do see what you're saying, and I hope if they're going to do this match, I hope that Pac is going to go somewhere, because if you're just going to put him back into 3 trios tags for the next couple of months, I don't really see the point of it. So hopefully there will be something more coming from this for Pac. So, I mean, I tell you what would be really exciting for me, if Pac gets a world title shot and just surprises everyone and completely and wins the title on TV. I think that'd be amazing, but I don't think it'll happen. But it'd be nice to see it's nice to see an odd shocker now and again.
Yeah.
Out of the blue, as long as it's not someone ridiculous winning. But so we'll see what happens on that. The next thing was an interview again with Adam Cole, Red Dragon, and the Bucks. So they're still teasing this split, which I think is good. I think it's a really interesting storyline, this. And I think eventually when it pays off, it's going to be amazing. The only thing I'd like to see on this is that I'd like to see it for the title, though. I think if it's just like another match, I don't think it'll have as much weight as it would if it's for the title. So, if this does happen, Red Dragon against the Bucks, which I think it will, I'd like to see it being for the title, really. So I I do hope, and I did originally predict that Red Dragon would win the titles from the Jurassic people, and then maybe a pay per view against the Bucks. That would be, to me, that would be a big match, and that's a pay per view match for me.
Yeah, I really like the way they did this. I'm assuming you're referring to the segment where there was some confusion between the two teams as to who were the partners that Cole actually picked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Am I right in saying that? Yeah. So yeah, I really like the way they did this. They kind of teased the whole Young Bucks being picked as Cole's partners thing, and then so it was like, well, actually, I was talking about Bobby and Kyle. That kind of made me laugh. I mean, that was always the assumption, but it's just the way that they did it with Bobby Fish. They going, is he talking about us? Sort of thing. Yeah, cleverly done. It'll be an interesting little feud when it does actually happen. So yeah, one to keep an eye out on.
I think it's probably, well, there's quite a lot of big. In fact, the amount of big tag matches that they've got potentially now is just incredible, really. I think this is probably one of the best. But you've got loads more now. I mean, with all the new teams springing up, I mean, it's just incredible. The only thing I thought of when I watched this was that what they could really do with, and I think they might have talked about it already, but I could really buy into some kind of huge tag team cup pay per view, because I think they've got, literally, the tag teams are just completely off the charts with talent. This could be like an entire pay per view of tag teams. I think something like the Crockett Cup, which the NWA do, which the NWA don't really have that much talent, but this group of people now, especially when you've got Moxley and and Danielson and all the new teams that are coming in, I think this could be bloody dynamite, literally dynamite. You've got the Bucks, Red Dragon, Jurassics, Lucha Brothers. If when Phoenix comes back, that could be absolutely off the charts. So I would be looking to put that together, really. Some sort of event or pay per view. I know they talked about the Owen Hart thing, so yeah. I think we're getting to a time where that could be really dynamite. That
Tony Khan, are you listening?
Yeah. So just an idea, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, they're so stacked that why it's calling out for it now. You've got too many teams, really. You can't feature them all. There's too many. So that would be a perfect way to get them all on TV and do some big event. Be amazing. So anyway, on from that, we went to an interview with FTR, only a very small list, but this was a bit of a wow moment again, because completely out of the blue, they just fired Tully Blanchard, just completely out of the blue. Didn't expect that at all, which quite like that in a way, because it's nice to have a shock now and again. I was like, whoa, where did that come from, type of thing. So that's an interesting storyline, which just happened. They didn't, as far as I'm aware, that wasn't teased at all before. I don't know if you saw anything, Russell, but I just was surprised by that.
No, I agree. It came completely out of left field, really. Didn't see that coming at all. In fact, I've actually put in my notes, FTI fires Tully, ? Exclamation mark, question mark. I was like, whoa, where did that come from? So yeah, as you say, nice to have a bit of a surprise and a shock thrown in there. I certainly didn't see that coming. So yeah, not even sure storyline wise what Tully Blanchard did to deserve being let go, to be honest. But let's see where FTR go from here. They're a good team. They are a very good team.
Might be that. I think they're in the top 2 or 3 in the federation, in the promotion, for definite. I think.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting where that goes, because I do think they will get another manager. I don't think they'll be managerless. So I just personally, I think they've realised, like we said again, this is again what we said before, that Tully Blanchard is basically a bit too past it, and he's a danger to himself. I think they've realised that as well. I think they thought, well, this guy's really not, not physically able anymore. I think that's the reason. Because there wasn't. I mean, I was surprised they didn't give an actual real reason, but maybe they just realised, look, it's time to move him on now. So
maybe
interesting. So the next one was it was classed as the AHFO board meeting in-ring interview. And first thing I thought of is board meeting, because I've been bored with this for a long time. So it wasn't a board meeting for me, it were being bored meeting. Because I've just thought this thing has just bored the shit out of me for a long time. So I'm glad that at least we're going to get this thing to a head, because it's just been kind of it's been like the AEW's mid-card vortex this has. If you get sucked into this thing, you're never getting out of it. So I'm glad that they had this board, even though I've been bored by it, I'm glad they had the board meeting. So, but yeah, all this was really to do, I suppose, was to turn Matt Hardy face and to bring Jeff Hardy back, I suppose, and that was good. Nice, huge pop for Jeff Hardy. But the only thing that I thought was a bit strange was Matt Hardy was getting the shit kicked out of him in the ring, and then Jeff Hardy's doing the dance on the way down. I thought that was a bit strange. I thought, well, maybe they're not thought about that properly. But other than that, it was a good, it was a good pop. I don't know if I'd have done the same. I might have probably brought Jeff Hardy down in a bigger match to get involved, really, or as a surprise partner. I think this is probably a little bit rushed, I think, but I'm looking forward to the Hardys getting back together, because the AHFO has been a complete disaster, I think, from start to finish, and Andrade might be able to do something with it now, because he's really, his storyline's been absolutely shocking as well. So maybe it might be a win-win situation. Get the Hardys back together in a tag team. This is another main event tag team that's just appeared again. So get them into a tag team. There's some dream matches out there for them now. I mean, the Private Party will be first, but then I wouldn't imagine the Bucks will be far behind. So there's going to be some mega dream matches there. And then this gives Andrade something to do. But again, this is the same problem again, is leading a stable when his mic work is not probably his strong point because of his fact of his accent. So that would be my only criticism. But I think overall, I think the outcome of this was very good. You got Hardy out of this mess with his brother, which is going to be good. And then Andrade taking over it, which might make it a bit better. I don't know. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll just be the same old rubbish. But I don't know. But it can't be any worse. And that's how I sort of see it. So that's what I think.
Yeah, it was an interesting little segment. Served its purpose as far as moving most of these guys on is concerned. It gives them all something different to do. Thank God, as you say, because it was definitely the being board meeting. Couldn't have put that any better myself. I was going to say the exact same thing. It moves all these guys in a different direction, which I think is a good thing. Happy to see Jeff Hardy in AEW. I just hope he doesn't blow it this time. He's had so many big chances with major companies. Embrace it, do something with it, don't stuff it up. Stay clean, stay healthy, etc. Because I agree, with him reuniting with his brother Matt, that has the potential to create some really interesting matches and potential feuds. That's all I've got to say about that one, really.
I thought there was an interesting bit though as well. I don't know if you picked up on this, but when Jeff Hardy hit the ring and they cleared out all the AHFO people, he kind of did like a bit of a sign to Sting, like a, kind of like, respecting him, because in TNA, when he fought Sting for the title, or Sting fought him for the title, don't remember which it was, Hardy was completely out of his mind that night, and Sting literally had to sort of pin him in 30 seconds because the guy was off his head. So I thought that was kind of a little bit of I think that was a bit of a nod to Sting saying, yeah, I've made a mistake, but I'm kind of back, sort of thing. So we'll see what happens. I tend to think that I don't probably think he was happy in WWE anyway. So I don't think that was helping matter. So now he's back with his brother and with people who are probably in like knows more and kind of gets on with more. I think it might probably work out this time, but we'll have to wait and see. But so that was that one. And then we had a Swerve interview.
Sorry, I just wanted to just say something quickly about Andrade.
Yeah.
You're saying about his mic work and how his accent gets in the way of things. When they gave him the mic towards the end of that segment, when he said, I can't remember what he said, but can understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't help. If they're going to keep giving him time to speak on the microphone, then they need to develop that side of his character a bit more, and it's just not working at the moment. So
yeah, I would do, and I don't think they will do, but I think this would be quite funny as well. When Andrade speaks, I would put subtitles up.
Yeah
It sounds stupid, but I think it would be quite fun as well. It'd be quite fun because because like you say, there were a couple of times I didn't understand what he was saying, and I really having to listen like that. And there were a couple of words where I couldn't understand what he were on about. So that might be quite a fun thing to do. Put like the subtitles up maybe for him. I don't know. Just to make different as well. Just a thought, but
I'm pretty sure they did used to do that when he first came into the company.
Oh, right. Okay.
They stopped it for some reason. So
yeah, well, I think should go back to that though, because I like Andrade. Like we said before, I like him. I like his character. He looks like a star. I mean, like for example, this is what I would criticism about Adam Page. Andrade looks like a complete star. Like to me, Adam Page doesn't. So, to me, if Andrade had the world title, that wouldn't look out of place for me. I think, he looks like a star, looks like a champion, really. So obviously it's just a case of get the subtitles up, I think that's the answer, isn't it? So so anyway, next up we had Swerve interview and teasing a match with Tony Nese. So as I said before, I haven't seen Swerve before, so but obviously he's meant to be quite good. So I'm kind of looking forward to this match because I want to see him in action. Tony Nese is obviously a very talented guy, talented wrestler. He would be a guy, I think, I'd be doing something more with Tony Nese. This would be one of the guys where Regal could come in and manage him. I think that would be quite good. Tony Nese and another wrestler with Regal, that would be, to me, would be a better use of Regal, I think. So yeah, no comments on that because I don't know the guy, but I'm looking forward to the match. So that was good.
I don't really have anything else to add. It was just a nice little build up to a match between the two guys on Rampage, which I think will be a decent match. They've wrestled each other before on NXT and or 205 Live, I believe. So yeah, they're definitely familiar with each other. It's a good move booking wise. So yeah, not much else to say on that.
Yeah. So next up is an interview with Wardlow.
Yeah.
So we had just like Wardlow to me looks like a real man, possibly a real champion again. Another one who would make potentially a better champion than what we've got now. obviously, probably needs a little bit more time, but I, wouldn't look out of place as a champion. I don't think. Yeah, not the most crisp of mic skills, but he's certainly not bad. And he's quite new. And I don't think he's done a lot on the mic so far because he's been with MJF, hasn't he? So I've got no real issues with it. There was a good line though from Wardlow, and he said, "After years of giving, I now want to take," and I like that. But that's a nice line. So yeah, I like it. But obviously, I mean, I think we agree. I'm a big fan of Wardlow. I think you are as well. So I'm really happy where this is going. And to be honest, I can't wait for him to have the TNT title. If I'm honest.
Yeah, I do like Wardlow. He's a credible big man. Looks the part, and as you say, starting to sound the part with his mic work as well. And the interview kind of suggested that he knows where he wants to go. He's not satisfied with just the TNT title. He wants to be world champion. And I'm with you. I could potentially see that happening one day. Not yet, but not too far in the future. So yeah, I think they're doing the right thing with him. Get him to ditch MJF and then build him up as a strong, powerful babyface.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was a good one. That was a tick in the box for me for that one. Then we had another small interview again with Keith Lee, and QT Marshall kind of came in as well. So I think this is going to be a bit of a few squash matches for Keith Lee, I think, with QT Marshall and his band of prelim wrestlers. I think, I don't mind seeing that, from the big guys. I mean, Wardlow's shown that it's good to give the big guys some squashes, get some over and stuff. So I don't mind that really. QT Marshall that's who he is and that's what his people are. Whereas when Cody was around, he was trying to sort of make these guys into something that they're not. They're never going to be main event guys. I don't even remember what the other guy's called. I mean, Brock Anderson might end up being something. The other guy we teams with is just mid card guy. So yeah, I'm happy to see this get Keith Lee back in the ring. Let's see. We haven't really seen much of him, so I want to see more of him, even if it's just a quick squash match. So I like that. So yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah. Hello.
It's my father.
Can I ring him back?
Can you ring me back? Yeah, all right then. Cheers.
Sorry. I didn't actually make many notes on this particular segment. I just put QT in the factory have Keith Lee's back. Lee respectfully declines, unsurprisingly, because he's definitely a free spirit, and I think would probably prefer to go down the solo route, which is what they should do with someone like him. 250 pounds. So yeah, he's an intimidating presence all on his own. He doesn't need anybody else. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, I agree. I think let's just see. The thing is, the good thing is as well, if you give him a few squash matches, you're not going to take a lot of time up on the show either. You could have a 2 or 3 minute squash match, and you've not really it's only like a big interview, so you're still getting him over without like wasting loads of time having a competitive match. So I think that's a good thing. So after that, we had a match with the Jurassic people, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, against the Acclaimed. So I like this match, but I really love the Acclaimed, so I would do. I love everything about the Acclaimed. I love Max Caster. I even like Anthony Bowens. I think he's potentially got quite a lot of talent. He might be a little bit more talented in the ring, but but the charisma of Max Caster is, to me, it's off the charts. Really, I'm not a rap fan, but I love his raps. You know, I always like to, even if it's on Dark or Elevation, if I know Max Caster's on, I'm interested in watching it. So that to me tells me that, you know, this guy's a draw. So yeah, I like the match. You know, as I say, I like the match. It was quite competitive, and I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But like down the line in a few years' time, I'd like to see these guys, the Acclaimed, having a title run. You know, I mean, it's not obviously yet, but these guys are so over, and I do think down the line, Max Caster's going to be a big star on his own. I think, you know, I think with a bit more experience and things, I think he's going to be like a super big star. I was kind of hoping for a mega upset, although I didn't think it was going to happen in a million years. But I would have loved to get an upset in this match. But yeah, I love it, and they're giving, to be fair to AEW, I mean, they're giving the Acclaimed a lot of airtime, which I think they completely deserve it. I think so. Yeah, I really like this. Good, probably my favorite match on the show for me. This.
Yeah, I agree. I like the Acclaimed. Max Caster's raps always make me laugh. Just trying to remember the finish. Wasn't there a disqualification for some reason?
I feel like it was a proper finish, but I can't really remember the exact finish. But right. I just remember it. I remember it being quite competitive. So it wasn't like a squash match or anything.
No. No, I just put down that Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus retained despite the heels' underhanded tactics because, you know, unsurprisingly, they did kind of cheat a lot to try and get the win. Yeah, I agree. I think they make credible champions, but not yet. I'd say give it a bit of time. But no, they're both decent teams, and the match was pretty good. So,
yeah. So that was the and I think that was for the titles. That was a tag title match as well, wasn't it? I think that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then we moved on then to a real quick interview with Jade. Yeah, I've said this before. I like Jade. I like her look. I think she's a future star. Don't think she's really 100% ready. I know you don't agree with me on this, but I really think she's going to be something in a few years. Just a bit early, I think. But I like when she did the Jade's kiss of death. I think that was really nice. That little catchphrase. I like that a lot. So I think I'd like Jade even more if she didn't have a title. I just feel like you don't really deserve it, if I'm honest. But I really like her. I don't like the green hair, but I've said that before. But I'm sure she'll change that over time. But yeah, no, that's it. Same as always for me. So over to you, Russell.
Yeah. I've said all there is to say about her. To be honest, I'm not going to go over it again. But no, the question was who's next? Tycon. Okay. Everyone, you still there?
Yeah, you froze a little bit there for me, Russell. So you just I think you froze for me a bit. So I didn't really catch that, but I don't know if it'll don't know if you want to just kind of summarize what you just said again, maybe. Hi, Russell. I think we're back online.